let me confirm now to you the results of the games played in the SPL elsewhere this afternoon. At Dens Park, it was Dundee 2, Hibs 1, Hearts 1, Aberdeen 0, Motherwell 0, Dundee United 0, Rangers 0, Livingston 0, St Johnstone 0, Dunfermline 2. And that means Dunfermline are top of the Bank of Scotland Scottish Premier League with 2 wins out of 2, giving them a 2-point lead over Rangers, Dundee and Livingston. Celtic start this evening in 5th place. A win would take them level at the top. Victory for Kilmarnock would put them above their visitors tonight. So let's get to it. It's Kilmarnock against Celtic. Let's join David Provenant first. Ian Cocard.
Thank you, Jim. Well, Kilmarnock make one change from the side that drew last week's opener at Hibs. Bobby Williamson has decided to match Celtic's formation, so Sean Hessey comes into a back 3 with Antonio Calderon dropping to the bench. Ian Durant, Craig Dargo and Kevin McGowan are all injured, but there's a home debut for Michel Ngonge. Andy McLaren, available after suspension, is on the bench. Well, Martin O'Neill keeps the side that saw off St Johnstone. John Hartson is a sub, but there's no place in the 16 for Steve Guppy or Momo Silla. That's because of an SPL rule, which means you must have 2 under-21 players in the squad, hence the presence of Maloney and Craney instead. Lubomir Moravcik is given a rest, but Henrik Larsson isn't, and he's got 7 goals in his last 2 games against Killie.
Yeah, Bobby Williamson played with a flat back 4 at Easter Road last weekend, but like Sandy Clark at Celtic Park last week, decided to go with a back 3 this afternoon. Gives him a little bit more security against what has to be the best striking partnership in the country right now. Chris Innes, I imagine, given his physical presence, will lock on to Chris Sutton. Freddie Dindeleux and Sean Hessey, I think at times, are just going to have to take it in turns to pick up Henrik Larsson, given the mobility of the Swedish striker. Now, I think if we look at the midfield, we'll see the other benefit to Bobby's system, because last week Gary Hay on the left and Peter Canero on the right played far deeper. Pushing them on like this means they have a far higher starting position up the pitch, and that should shorten the game for them. And I think Bobby will be saying to both of them today at times, try and back Pettit and Agatha, try and force them onto the back foot and see if we can get a result down the outside. Alan Mahood in the central area in the absence of Ian Durant, very much the playmaker. Similar job to that of Neil Lennon in the Celtic side. Neil Lennon's willingness, I think, to stay goal side for most of the game means that Paul Lambert is now getting himself forward to the edge of the area and onto the score sheet far more regularly. Further forward, the lad Ngonge, I have to say, and I don't know too much about him, but he scored a terrific goal at Easter Road last week. He's going to have his work cut out given the physical presence though of Celtic's back 3 today. Cocard will float. I think there are times he will give Kilmarnock an out ball out in the touchline. He will try to support his lone striker through the middle at times, but the front 2, as St Johnstone found last week, are going to have to work for everything they get off Celtic's back 3.
2 of Scotland's European hopefuls meet at Rugby Park, and these are traditionally tight tussles. Celtic never get an easy ride here. John Hartson on the bench, but sure to play some part for Celtic today. Kilmarnock have established themselves as one of the leading clubs in Scotland, in Europe for the 4th time in 5 years. But John Hartson takes his seat on the bench at a ground where he actually scored once for Wales against Scotland. Michel Ngonge became an instant hit with Killie fans when he scored after just 3 minutes at Easter Road last week. The first goal indeed of the new Scottish Premier League season. He played in England for QPR and Watford. Paul Lambert, goal machine. I never thought I'd get to say that. 3 goals this week, tripling his tally for last season. 32 on Tuesday. He remains a class act. And ironically, John Hartson has taken Eyal Berkovic's number 10 shirt, and given the history between those two, he was probably disappointed Berkovic wasn't still in it when he took it. Stuart Dougal, one of Scotland's top officials, is the man in charge on a beautiful sunny afternoon in Ayrshire. Both teams head off into Europe this week. Well, Kilmarnock head off to Northern Ireland to play Glenavon, and I understand that the Glenavon players kicked off their final pre-season game early so they could sit in front of the telly and watch the action here. Celtic, of course, well, they meet Ajax in a Champions League qualifier on Wednesday in Amsterdam as they look to get into the Champions League for the very first time. When you just beat Manchester United 4-3 in front of 67,000 at Old Trafford, this might seem like a bit of a come down, but whilst it was fun to put one over the English champions, this game means much more to Celtic and to Martin O'Neill as he pursues back-to-back league titles, something that Celtic haven't managed since the early 80s, would you believe? Kilmarnock beat Celtic here on the last day of last season, although Martin O'Neill fielded a reserve side that day, a week ahead of the cup final. Even so, Killie had the chance to record back-to-back league wins over Celtic for the first time since, would you believe, the mid-1920s. Celtic wearing their away kit. One of their away kits, they've actually got a couple on the go at the moment. Early possibilities for Kilmarnock, who finished 4th last season. That's been a familiar position for them in recent times, in fact.
Yeah, they've done well, Ian, and they played very well at Easter Road last week, but having watched Celtic beat Man United in midweek, Bobby Williamson did say to me on Thursday that only their very best will do today. And if you look at this Celtic side, it is so settled now, it almost picks itself.
Johan Mjällby got Celtic's season going last week with the opening goal against St Johnstone. Paul Lambert then weighed in with a couple. Here's Bobby Petter, who probably hasn't been too impressed to see Steve Guppy arrive at Celtic this week, and he's lost out there. Here's Dindeleux, Gary Hay waiting to receive, but Dindeleux taking another rather mysterious option instead of what seemed like a simple pass to Hay on the touchline. Innes. Here's Hessey, who hasn't actually played since last December. Ngonge chasing this one, and Tebele has to deal with it, and does.
That's the ideal ball for him. I mean, you saw he's still got a bit of pace, Ngonge there. Ball just dropped over the top of Celtic's back three. I think we'll see a fair bit of the Route 1 ball from Kilmarnock today.
Here's Sanjuan. Oh, it's just sped away from Hay. Bobby Williamson has done a fine job taking Kilmarnock into Europe for the 4th time in 5 seasons, and his reward, a 5-year contract. So the drinks are on Bobby later on. Usually are anyway, to be fair. These teams also met in the League Cup final last season, which Celtic won 3-0, and Henrik Larsson got a hat-trick. And in fact, in his last league appearance against Killie, he scored 4 of Celtic's 6. So 7 goals in 2 games against Kilmarnock. I bet they're delighted to see him at Rugby Park. Gary Hay. Tebele. Didier Agat. Hassled by Hay, but a free kick will be given.
I think you see there how keen though Gary Hay was to get to Didier Agat there. And I think if you give either of Celtic's wide two a chance scene to get the ball into feet and get turned and running at you, you're going to be in bother.
Mjällby to Valhara. Aaron Thompson comes to have a look. Now Olivier Tebele, a John Barnes signing. Lennon, who certainly relished going to Old Trafford in midweek, as did all the Celtic players. They were well up for it. As we thought they might be. And they'll have to be well up for it here because they always get a tough time against Kilmarnock at Rugby Park. Away by Dindeleux, and Ngonge was well advanced for Kilmarnock. Lambert, who's been amongst the goals in what's been a wonderful week for Celtic. They saw off St Johnstone. They toppled the English champions Manchester United on their own patch, then made a triple transfer swoop, and today saw Rangers compelled at home by Livingston as Sutton gets a free kick.
I'll tell you what, he's brilliant at that. No intention of jumping there, Sutton, just backed in and won the free kick, and we see him do this so often. Chris Innes over the top, and Chris Sutton wins Celtic so many dead balls from that kind of move.
Thompson whipped it in towards Valharan, but Ngonge was back, doing defensive duty. Here's Neil Lennon, though. Lambert covering. Oh, what a turn from Larson, who was toppled. And that'll be a free kick in a very promising position.
Yeah, caught late, but a terrific spin to get away from Dindeleux. A bit of aggro there, Stuart Dougal in among it right away.
Well, he's going to bring a card out. Chris Sutton could be in bother as well for causing the aggro.
That's a terrific turn there by Larson, just drops the left shoulder, spins to his right, and he's caught well late there by Sean Hessey.
So Hessey and Sutton shown yellow cards. Chris Sutton was actually sent off on his home debut a year ago this week against Motherwell. Also sent off against Kilmarnock in the League Cup final. He's got an early yellow card, as has Sean Hessey.
Well, they'll be looking to make Gordon Marshall work here. He'll have to make sure they get a shot on target, at least bring out a save in the Kilmarnock keeper. It's well within range.
Well, Thompson can certainly belt them with his left foot. Henrik Larsson might well fancy it too. It is going to be Alan Thompson. I think there's going to be another card shown here for encroachment. And it's all becoming a little farcical.
Yeah, I think it's Ali Mitchell who charged out. Well, did the whistle go? That's a question. It's no more than a couple of yards away when it struck.
So Celtic can try again. This time Alan Thompson leaves it. Henrik Larsson can't clear the wall, and that little flurry of activity brought yellow cards for Hessey, Mitchell and Sutton, but not much else, it must be said. Bobby Petter. Oh, it's going to be another free kick. Christoph Cocard is the offender this time, and Stuart Dougal will endeavour to calm things down a little bit.
I don't think there's a great deal of malice in it. I think it's just a typical forwards mistimed tackle. A good footwork by Petter there on his way. Chance for Celtic to throw Mjällby forward. Valharan.
It's Neil Lennon who sends it in. It's only cleared as far as Lambert. Teverley. Sutton flicked it on. Away by Canero. Ngonge has been taken out now. And Lambert. Busy night for Mr. Dougal so far. But then they're always a bit tasty, these Rugby Park encounters between Kilmarnock and Celtic. This is free kick. Peter Canero, one of the promising youngsters at Killie. Actually, in the summer, he had an accident on holiday, needed several stitches in his arms and legs when he fell through a glass-cased gaming machine in Magaluf, as you do. Must have been some night. Picked on by Larsson, but away by Hessey. Dindeloux's header puts his own team under a bit of pressure. Sutton. Both teams fully committed to the cause so far. And Sutton trying to help it on to Larsson. Gives Sutton a title winner north and south of the border with Celtic and with Blackburn Rovers. Tebele. Should be a safe catch for the former Celtic keeper Gordon Marshall, who'd love to put one over his old club. And the RB has impeded Cocard.
Very well held up though by Ngonge. One ball by Gordon Marshall, taken in well by the striker, and Mjällby well out with the challenge.
Sanjuan takes the free kick. Celtic, though, not really troubled by that, and the gap looks to get away. Mjällby. Neil Lennon. Oops, that's a bit awkward for Valharen. The big Belgian has been outstanding since the day he joined Celtic. And this man hasn't been too bad for them either, Johan Mjällby, who played for much of last season with a groin problem, certainly towards the end of it, and had that operated on in the summer. Lambert, Thompson, Petter, going back to his homeland in midweek, and Celtic head to Holland. John Hartson warming up already, stating that he's fit to play a part today, even though he would be a bit behind the Scottish teams as far as getting fit is concerned, although not that far behind. Ngonge chasing this, and has he got the better of Mjällby? He has, you know, Ngonge. There's nobody waiting in the middle, and Valharen can turn it away.
That's a terrific run by the striker there. Took a tough couple of yards out of Johan Mjällby there. Needed a supporting run from midfield, it wasn't there.
Ngonge destined to become a firm favourite with the Kilmarnock fans. Certainly got off to a fine start after scoring just 3 minutes into his debut at Hibs. And, oh, was that a little nudge? One at the catch. Stuart Dougal had a look, but there weren't too many protests from Kilmarnock, it must be said, as Cocard went to ground. And that's rather wasted by Chris Innes.
Yeah, Playing for a penalty here, Didier Agat, just a nudge there on Christophe Cocard. To be fair, Stuart Dougal was only 2 or 3 yards away, perfectly placed to call it. But how often do you see Johan Mjällby lose out in that kind of race? Terrific play by the striker. No takers.
Ngonge played for Watford and Queen's Park Rangers, south of the border. Thompson across towards Sutton, who has support from Agat and also from Lambert, and Larsson's never going to be far away, and he pokes it back to Sutton, and Dindeleux with a wonderful interception. That's rather typical of Freddie Dindeleux, mind you. Celtic, though, haven't finished yet. Here's Agat. Stopped in his tracks. Dindeleux limping after that challenge on Sutton. And they'll do battle again, perhaps, here. Dindeleux determined. Sutton not one to mess around either, mind you. Now Lambert. Lennon's cross. Celtic seeking to turn the screw. Here's Bobby Petter. Lambert. Not quite fancy footwork from Lambert that time. Kilmarnock, they break away themselves. Cocard to Ngonge. Canero's made a run into the box. Mahood is there as well if he can deliver. He can't, but others might well be able to. Although that's going to go harmlessly through to Robert Douglas.
Yeah, I should have played it earlier. He had a better angle to deliver, and he had good support as well from Canero and Mahood.
Olivier Tebeli getting a run in the team because another of Martin O'Neill's new boys, Bobo Balde, is injured. O'Neill steering Celtic to only the third treble in the club's history. The only other manager to do it, Jock Steed. He wasn't bad either. Tebeli delivers, but it's Canero who can bring it away. Scottish under-21 international, but the name explained by the Spanish granddad. Here's Petter, who escaped Mahood. And he's escaping everyone else at the moment. Sutton. And once again, I think it was Innes that time who got stuck into him. Neil Lennon charging Canero unfairly. Bobby Williamson, unusually, has left his seat in the director's box much earlier than usual to come down to the touchline. Slight delay as Lennon does his boots up, but Kilmarnock have a chance now to put the champions under pressure. Canero to Ngonge. Canero up to Ngonge. Lambert neatly to Mialbi. He looks for his fellow countryman, Henrik Larsson. Dindeleux breathing down the back of his shirt. Here's Lambert. Thompson making a rampaging run. Well, it looks like we are going to see the early introduction of John Hartson, signed for an initial £4 million, rising to £6 million. Lambert. John Hartson waiting to come on. It's a bit of a mystery, but maybe Henrik Larsson has a little bit of a problem. Bobby Petter certainly does at the moment. He's taken a knock as well. Now Bobby Petter here has been hobbling. I wonder if he might be the man to make way. Here's Thompson, but Mahood takes over. Away by Canero. Celtic will hope to make that change ASAP. It is going to be Bobby Petter, I think, who's going to have to make way. He's been hobbling, and that'll be a real shame for him if he misses out on the return to Holland midweek against Ajax, but also with Steve Guppy having systematised at the club as well, and Yogi is not too serious.
Yeah, I mean, the Celtic supporters will be delighted to see John Hartson at this early stage, but it's a worry for Martin O'Neill. Bobby Petter holding his left thigh there. I think I want to get him off, get some ice on it, and hope that he's okay for next midweek. But not a bad replacement to bring on.
Now this will be interesting. Two battering rams up front for Celtic, Sutton and Hartson, on for his debut. Lennon's free kick immediately seeking out the big Welshman. It's going to drop for Didier Agat. Here's Lambert. Oh, Lambert's got it back. Looking for another one to add to his 2 against St Johnstone and 1 against Manchester United, but Hessey hassled him.
Well, this is something we're seeing far more often from Paul Lambert these days, and principally through Neil Lennon's willingness to sit in the defensive position. Paul Lambert getting himself into the opposition box far more regularly these days. Got himself a goal at Old Trafford as well in midweek. Once again, he shows there his willingness to go and support his front players.
Ngonge thought that he got a little nudge then from O'Hara, but the free kick is actually given now to Celtic, a little bit further up. So there's Sutton to aim for, there's Hartson to aim for, and there's Larson to aim for, and Valhara and Miyabi are coming onto the scene as well. Thompson whips it in, Miyabi the nearest Celtic player to it. Tebeli gives it to Alan Thompson, who will patrol this touchline in the absence of Petter. Now Larson. Thompson delivers, Sutton let it go. Away by Hessey. Ooh. Here's Lennon. Now Paul Lambert. Straight through to Gordon Marshall. Bobby Petter has a hamstring problem, which is really bad news for him, bearing in mind Guppy's arrival at the club. He'll be after his position, and he might well get it, because it sounds like he won't play much of a part for Celtic Petter in the next few weeks. Ngonge opens up for him here. Oh dear. John Hartson has actually scored on this ground for Wales a few years back when they beat Scotland by a goal to 0. And isn't it ironic that he's taken the number 10 shirt, which was previously held by his good mate Isle Berkovic.
Yeah, the action area is dead level, Ian, but I think Bobby would be hoping to pose just a little bit more of a threat at the other end of the ground, starting to get hemmed in across their own 18-yard box.
Midway point of the first half, and no goals between Kilmarnock and Celtic. In fact, in the last 8 encounters between these two here at Rugby Park, it has been level at half-time. They are always tight affairs, as proved by the 2 games here last season. Celtic won the first 1-0, Kilmarnock won the second 1-0, although it was a second-string Celtic side out that day, ahead of the cup final. Sutton doing battle with Innes. Here's Hartson, who of course could have been a Rangers player but failed a medical at Ibrox almost a year ago. Hartson finding Sutton, and now Thompson might get to it. Left himself with a bit too much to do, really. It was just veering away. Kilmarnock's home record last season was a little disappointing, bearing in mind the excellent support they have here. It should be a bit of a fortress for them, but they lost 8 times at home, and that's something that Bobby Williamson will seek to improve on as he looks once again to take them into Europe. Be a tough tie for him against Glenavon of Northern Ireland, mind you. They go there for the first leg on Thursday. Hartson on the volley.
That would have been a bit special had it gone in, Ian. And like most strikers, prepared to take it on there. Ball set up nicely for him. It'll take something a bit special to beat Gordon Marshall from that range.
Well, Martin O'Neill is hoping to be the first manager to take Celtic into the Champions League, and the Ajax coach, Co Adrianzi, is amongst the crowd here at Rugby Park. First leg in Amsterdam on Wednesday. Sanjuan leaves it for Mahood, rather Cocard. Lambert. Larson towards Hartson. Oh, he might have left that behind Thompson.
Yeah, he made a lot of good room though, John Hartson. Just dropped off Chris Innes there at the back post, found a nice little bit of room. Larson, good vision there, looked up, good weighted ball. Hartson maybe up just a fraction earlier there to get it back across goal.
Ngonge making a good run. And it's handed off cleverly for a Killie corner. So some encouragement here for the home side. Sanjuan, one of the Spaniards who arrived from Airdrie last March. The other one, Calderon, is on the bench. So Mitchell's corner, and Robert Douglas says, "I'll have that, thank you very much." Well, you asked Martin O'Neill yesterday about the possibility of playing Hartson, Sutton and Larson in the same team, and I don't know if he planned to do it this quickly.
Yeah, I mean, he's also playing them as more or less as a front three. We thought Henry Larson might have dropped off the front. He hasn't done that. The three of them playing right up front, forcing the Kilmarnock's back three to go man for man. I have to say, playing very narrow at the moment, Celtic's front three.
Well, Mahood has found Hartson, who didn't quite know where the ball had gone. Oh dear! That's going to be a yellow card, I would imagine, to Hartson. If he gets away with this, it will be a surprise.
Yeah, I think he is getting away with it.
Stuart Dougal summons Hartson towards him.
Well, Stuart Dougal's done him a major turn here, Ian, because that has to be worthy of a yellow card. Well, he's 10 minutes late there as he hits Hessey.
Well, what a let-off for John Hartson. I mean, how can you not get a yellow card for that? Here's Ngonge, meantime, for Kilmarnock. Gary Hayes making a run into the box. Ngonge, though, held up on his travels by Valharan. He's about to have Lennon there as well. Lennon never one to shirk a challenge. Canero with Kilmarnock's throw. Canero has done well, and he's delivered well. Ngonge lifted it over. He was under pressure at the time, mind you.
That's a decent ball into the front post, Ian. And I think you'll see it's the presence of Gary Hay here that makes it difficult for Celtic to defend it. See Hay coming across to the front post, nudge on Mialbi, who doesn't quite get it away.
Well, we've got two big matches for you next weekend, live only on Sky Sports. Dunfermline against Rangers next Saturday night at our new usual time of 5:30 on Sky Sports 1. And on Sunday, it's the Charity Shield, live from the Millennium Stadium. Liverpool against Manchester United at 1 o'clock on Sky Sports 2 and interactive on Sky Sports Extra. Here's Hessey. Hay. Alan Mahood, who scored the winner against Celtic here in May that took Kilmarnock into the UEFA Cup. Sutton looking for Larsson and finding him. This could be ominous for Kilmarnock. Henrik Larsson quickly has two men on him, but sometimes two is not enough. That time it was. Mialbi fending off Ngonge. Here's Thompson. Away by Dindeleux, but only to Lambert. Rangers, remember, held to a goalless draw at home by Livingston earlier. The Celtic management and players, as they arrived here, were asking the score from that game every couple of minutes. Although all credit to Dunfermline at the moment, who are top of the league with a 100% record. Here's Ngonge.
It's help.
Gary Hay might yet come in on this, except Tebele got there first. I think Kilmarnock are now going to be forced into making a change, or maybe they've made it of their own accord. Andy McLaren, who had such a wonderful start to last season, is going to replace the Spaniard Jesus Sanjuan.
Yeah, I think they'll probably pull Christoph Cocard off the front now if Andy McLaren's going to play up front with Ngonge.
McLaren started last season with a goal spree, but the goals dried up for him as the season went on. Much of a test for Robert Douglas from Ali Mitchell. Tebele, Lambert, tripped by Mahood, and Sanjuan, we hear, does have a hamstring problem as well. That's why he's gone off. Same reason as Bobby Petter. Sutton with Hartson and Larsson, of course, waiting in the middle, but getting in the middle is a problem when Freddie Dindeloux's around. Nobody picked up Tebele. Away by Hessey. Here's Ngonge. McLaren gets his first touch, and it's not a bad one. He looks to put Ngonge away, but Valharan, he has got it covered eventually, but Ngonge not giving him a moment's peace.
Well, he's doing well, Ian. I think at times he should lift his head and have a look at what's going on round about him, but he's doing a good job for Kilmarnock up there, largely on his own.
Battling with Hessey, but Henrik Larsson takes over and Kilmarnock could be stretched here. That's going to be a free kick. And Mitchell took out Larsson.
I see the good body strength from Larsson just here in that collision. Rides the tackle from Ali Mitchell, but certainly wasn't getting away the second time. And again, I think Ali Mitchell probably lucky there not to be shown a yellow by Stuart Dougal.
Cocard gets it back from Alan Thompson. Neil Lennon. No goals, but it's certainly been a bit meaty at times as the flag goes up against John Hartson.
A busy old game for Stuart Dougal so far. As you say, it has been meaty, Ian. I think he's refereed it pretty well so far. Well, he certainly did John Hartson a major turn.
I wonder if Hartson will think he can get away with that every week in Scotland. Oh, Thompson with a high boot on Canero. Will take the free kick. Being closely watched. Hartson is told to get back a little bit further. Chris Innes sends it in. Hey, it's just going to go away from Mahood though, and it'll be scooped up by Hartson. Sutton. Didier Gaff is amazed that it's gone Kilmarnock's way. Mahood. Once signed by Brian Clough for Nottingham Forest. Ngonge's flick didn't come off. Thompson could benefit. Lennon into the path of Fowler. Larson is hugging the touchline. Just there. Larson. And Valharen suddenly appears in the box and didn't really make the most of it.
That's a good run forward from Valharen, but I'm sure Martin O'Neill would rather have had Alan Thompson in this situation, because it's a terrific reverse ball there by Larson and a good chance to throw one in between the keeper and last defender.
The RB towards Larson, but Marshall comes and collects. In fact, Gordon Marshall played his last game for Celtic on the same day that Henrik Larsson made his debut for them. Lennon. Mjällby. Up towards Hartson. A rather wayward header it appeared at first, although it does drop for Neil Lennon. Thompson wasting no time, up towards Henrik Larsson. And Hartson could be in! And it didn't quite happen for him.
Yeah, I might have shot the arm, but I don't think it was intentional.
Lennon. Valharen. Here's Thompson. Just poked away by Alan Mahood. Lennon's throw towards Sutton. Thompson waiting. Not one of his better crosses though, but here's Neil Lennon. Thompson. Just rolled out, I think. Oh no, it hasn't. Gone out now though. Valharen's throw. Marshall came, but it's only gone to Alan Thompson. Oops, wrong way. From Hay. And Celtic will get a corner.
Well, this was a great saving tackle by Freddie Dindeleux here. It might have been a handball initially, but it's a trailing leg of Dindeleux there. Just rolls his studs over the top of the ball and it does enough.
Agat sends the corner in. Valharen knocks it back, and it'll be another corner as Celtic put a bit of pressure on. Kilmarnock, one of the few teams from Scotland who beat Celtic last season. Only they, Dundee and Rangers did it, and only Rangers did it when it mattered really. The defeats to Dundee and Killie coming at the end of the season when Celtic had long since sewn up the title. Thompson's corner, and it might still come to Henrik Larsson, and Valharen trying to force it in, and Kilmarnock defend for their lives once again.
Yeah, they're under pressure because it's such a good corner. They're whipped in by Alan Thompson. Larsson with the hitch kick here as it spins up. Decent contact on, almost broke for Valharen. Kilmarnock had enough bodies goal side here. When that corner came in, they had 10 players in their own area.
Third corner in succession then for Celtic. A gap this time. Marshall got something on it. Valharen steers it back in, and Hartson just steers it over. That would have been some moment for him if it had gone in.
Yeah, again, it's a decent ball, and Gordon Marshall just ends up slightly under this, gets a decent part of the glove onto it. But John Hartson falling back there, can't quite get over this.
Hartson was at his most prolific in his West Ham days, really, when he and Paul Kixon arrived there towards the end of one season and virtually kept them in the top flight. But he is guaranteed to get you goals. Hartson, cut out by Dindeleux, but Lambert came back for more. The offside flag is up, though. A real gritty encounter between Kilmarnock and Celtic. Bobby Williamson, the longest-serving manager in the Scottish Premier League. He'll be around for some time yet, having just agreed a 5-year contract. Andy McLaren, a replacement for the injured Sanjuan. And now it's going to come to Canero. Cocard and Ngonge waiting for a cross. Mitchell's coming in there as well. It's Cocard first of all. Look to return it to Canero. Came to Mitchell. And Douglas just scrambled across.
It's got to go down. There's a decent chance there. Ali Mitchell never really managed to get a hold of it. Good attempted exchange here at the front post. Canero into the feet of Cocard, who had shown himself there at the front. And it's certainly a half chance there for Ali Mitchell.
He's just going to speed away from Didier Agat, who had a fine start to last season with Hibs, prompting Celtic to fork out a near 50,000 to buy him. He was only on a short-term contract at Easter Road. Electrifying pace. Paul Lambert. Kilmarnock, true to form, are giving Celtic a testing time. Hartson flicked it on, but it drops the wrong side of Larson. Kilmarnock were the lowest scorers in the top 6 last season. Dindeleux and Sutton were almost entwined again. Sutton felt he was fouled, but the referee didn't. Martin O'Neill not too impressed either. O'Neill, in fact, and Bobby Williamson are both off to the Robbie Williams concert at Hampden Park later on this evening. And Martin's 2 daughters are actually leaving the game at half-time, would you believe, to go there. So when Robbie Williams is around, can't too be bothered with what Dad's up to. Here's Canero. Peter Canero, and it's not really troubling Douglas. Celtic created records, of course, last season, and one remarkable statistic is that throughout the whole of the campaign they only conceded 4 first-half goals. There's a nasty 4 there for Cocard. Tebbley launching one, steered away by Innis. Thompson crashing in over Canero though, but Innis marshalling it behind for a goal kick. The last 8 meetings here between Kilmarnock and Celtic, remember, have been level at half-time. Is it going to be number 9 in a row? It shows how tight these games are. sliding in, but so was McLaren. McLaren. Cocard. McLaren. Kilmarnock looking to end the half on a high. But a poor choice of pass from McLaren. Cut out by Dindeleux. Now Celtic looking to nick one. On the stroke of half-time, it's Henrik Larsson. McLaren's challenge was a fine one. Here's Canero. Cut out by Meldrum. Just as well, because Ngonge was waiting. Sutton. Giving a gap something to chase, but even by his standards, it was going to be a bit too tricky. Just 1 minute of added on time, and we're in it. Rugby Park, no goals.
I think Bobby Williamson will be the happier of the two managers, Ian, because Celtic really haven't managed to open them up. They have looked dangerous at set pieces from time to time, but in open play they found it very hard to get in behind this Kilmarnock back three.
Mahood. Seconds remaining in this first half. Here's McLaren. Mahood. Canero wants it out on the right, but it went through the middle, and Meldrum quite fancied it. Thompson up to Larsson. Yes, quickly in on him. It's half-time at Rugby Park. Ollie Mitchell, probably Kilmarnock's best chance, but Celtic have certainly been lively too. John Hartson on for the injured Bobby Petter, an earlier than expected debut for him, and he came close too. But at the break, it's Kilmarnock 0, Celtic 0.
All right, here at Rugby Park, it's our live Saturday night match from the SPL. It's Kilmarnock against Celtic, and it's deadlock. It's 0-0 at the break. 3 bookings in that first half: Hessey and Mitchell of Killie, and Chris Sutton of Celtic. Celtic have had more possession, but plenty of threat up front from Killie. This one could go either way. 0-0 at the interval. Charlie, what do you make of that first 45?
I've enjoyed it. I have to say, it's what we expect now when we come to Kilmarnock Celtic games, especially. You know, reputations mean nothing to Bobby Williamson and his team. They will give them due respect. But when that whistle goes, Jim, you know Bobby's team, they're closing down, and then suddenly they're saying, we'll match you physically, effort-wise, we'll give everything we have. It's up to your classier players, your so-called better players, to turn in a performance that merits us coming away at home with nothing. And so far, the tenacious midfield, the strong defence of Kilmarnock has stood up. The introduction of Hartson, I've been a little surprised by it, not obviously because Petter was injured, but the fact that the three have kind of suffocated that area. Larsson is the most mobile. Sutton is, you know, he can get about. Hartson is more of the target man. If anything, I'm surprised they've not kept Hartson central and let Larsson in particular, and then Sutton work round about him.
But from the first whistle though, Charlie, Celtic have had more of it. So from that point of view, should O'Neill at the break be a bit disappointed they're not ahead?
No, I don't think he'll be disappointed because really they haven't created a great deal, and that's really due to the respect, you know, that the Kilmarnock organisation has given. Ngonge, he's really shown the pace that would trouble Meldrum. I mean, David told us during the commentary time, the one thing I would say for Bobby Williamson is he has to tell this fella, look, you're not the most naturally touched type player. You don't come and take it short and create any problems for Celtic defensively. But if we get you over the top and you show your speed, then you will give Celtic's defence
He'll leave them standing, yeah.
Yes, and he's getting that time and time again. And they have to do that, Kilmarnock, because they're so deep defensively. They have to turn it back forward.
What about that, though?
Well, I've seen them given, I have to say.
Yeah.
I would have to say it would have been a soft one. It wasn't an easy one. Stuart Dougal was in perfect position. We've seen Hartson come on for the injured Petter. He's been a menace because physically he will be. He tries something different. He couldn't resist it. And set up as an ex-striker, I would say he has to take that on. Here's the movement. Look at Thompson going inside. And certainly, you know, Hessey's in control of the situation. Good marking. And that is a wild, wild challenge. Stuart Dougal has done him a right turn. For me, it was a clear booking. In some circumstances, Jim, I've seen referees who would simply give a red card instantly to that. You know, welcome to the Scottish game, but I'll tell you what, you won't get away with that yet again, because now the reputation's set. Celtic, well, they put a bit of pressure on, 3 or 4 corners, keeping away, while Harren's been involved. Davey mentioned yet again, he was a guy getting in down the left on some occasions. I just feel sometimes with the 3 strikers they have, Agat's not really giving them a lot so far down the right, and down the left it's been Valharan, the surprise package getting forward. But Marsh, he gets a little bit touching this. Hartson, it's a hard one. It's bouncing just in front of him. All I can say is you've got to try and get it back in and target. You can't do that. Celtic have dominated the proceedings in possession. Kilmarnock have closed down well. A very even contest. Go either way, Jim.
Charlie, the fact is we knew that John Hartson would make an impact should he come on, and he came on and he made an impact. But what an impact. I mean, again, should he not have gone off?
Yeah, no, well, it's a wild challenge, Jim, there's no doubt about it. So for me, it's a clear yellow card in that instance. But I have to say, being so wild, you know, he has to get punished. Because if that was a Kilmarnock player, he would have been punished on yellow, I'm sure. OK, Charlie, so Rugby Park, no goals. John Hartson on for Celtic. Can he make the difference, or are Kilmarnock going to take a major scalp in Celtic tonight? The second half coming up after this.
Thank you, Jim. Well, John Hartson will be looking for a debut goal, but he really was extremely fortunate to escape a yellow card and perhaps even a red for that challenge on Chris Innes. Kilmarnock, one of only 3 teams to stop Celtic scoring last season. That was on the final day here, when it was pretty much a reserve team that Celtic put out ahead of the cup final. Certainly it's a full-strength side today as Celtic look to join Dunfermline on 6 points at the top of the Scottish Premier League, boosted by the fact that their old firm rivals Rangers were held to a goalless draw by Livingston at Ibrox earlier. Celtic are certainly going to have to work for whatever they get here. They always have to when they come to Rugby Park. They always get a bit of a battle.
I think the problem here is they're struggling to get anything down either side of the pitch, and normally they're so productive in the wide areas, but Gary Hayes played Didier Agat out of the game so far, and now that Celtic are playing more or less a 3-4-3, Alan Thompson isn't really out on that left-hand touchline to deliver.
Here's Hartson. Dindeleux and Innes between them. Sorted out John Hartson, who finally made it to Glasgow after failing a medical at Rangers a year ago. He ends up at Celtic, which will guarantee him a wonderful reception when he goes to Ibrox for the Old Firm game. Not. That's aimed towards Gary Hay, but Didier Agat with a firm header. Hartson chasing, Dindeleux there. Heavily and Ngonge wrestling each other. Free kick going against the new Kilmarnock striker. Kilmarnock, remember, without Craig Dargo up front. He chipped a bone in his ankle, but he's back in light training. Ian Durant, a long-term casualty. For a couple more months yet. Kevin McGowan also on the injured list. Neil Lennon to Hartson. Back to Lennon, Larsson waiting at the near post. It went back towards Hartson in the end though. Didier Agat ready to have a run at Killie. Lambert aware of the presence of Ngonge. Valharan. Larsson, nice touch. Innes was quickly in. That one up, and Kilmarnock playing it safe. Innes. Thompson, decent delivery that. Hartson nearly on the end of it, but it was palmed away by Gordon Marshall, former Celtic keeper. He could be put under pressure again, because here's Lamberts, and the flag goes up.
Yeah, Kilmarnock did well to step up there, but previous to that, terrific delivery from Alan Thompson. So Kilmarnock held a good line there, and Celtic caught offside.
This time the flag is up against Kilmarnock. Christophe Cocard had strayed a little bit. Celtic crowned champions of Scotland for a 37th time last season. The third treble in the club's history. They followed in the footsteps of that legendary team of the late 60s. But also won the European Cup, of course. Lennon, Lambert, Mjällby. Thompson on first time to Hartson. Lambert. This is neat from Celtic. Magnificent move. Thompson. Crowded out somewhat. In typical Killie fashion. Celtic will have to try another route with Valharan now. Dindeleux is going to clear to Ngonge. The race is on. Cocard is running through the middle. Ngonge can't find a way past Mjällby, but then quite a few have tried and failed to do that.
He's just got to lift his head a bit more, and once again he was in a good position, and Cocard had run 60 yards to support him, and he gives up possession at times just a little bit too cheaply.
Born in Belgium, Ngonge, but an international with the Democratic Republic of Congo, which used to be Zaire, I think, but he's given up international football anyway, so at least he won't be flying off around the world every few weeks. Tebeli. Lennon. Lambert. Mjällby. Sutton. Hartson just rolled away from him. It's just going to run away from Gary Hessey. No, he kept it in fact. Cocard. Shaking off Lennon, but stopped in his tracks by Mjällby. And possibilities here for Kilmarnock with Hay trying to get in. And Douglas held firm. Mitchell had advanced into the box. Ali Mitchell had a great chance to put Kilmarnock ahead.
Celtic were just caught sleeping here with a quick throw in. Mitchell on his way, and he's through in the goalkeeper here. Mjällby desperately trying to get back. And Robert Douglas did well to spread himself. Another half chance for Killie.
Agat. Thompson. Valharan getting ready for a long throw. Hartson is the target. And the corner kick is the outcome.
This is where Celtic have looked likely, Steve, from the set pieces. Once again, Mjällby and Tebeli's gone forward. And if you throw in Valharan and Sutton and Hartson, a real aerial presence there. Not surprisingly, Killie have every player inside that 18-yard box.
Thompson's corner, and Tebeli was allowed a header which he really should have done a bit more with.
It's a terrific chance. Well, that's a glorious chance. And it's one, well, it's certainly one John Hartson would have fancied, or Larson for that matter.
Aaron was trying to help that on. It ended up with Ngonge anyway. There's Larson. Hartson. Sutton. Now Agat. Celtic closing in, but once again, Kilmarnock closing them out, and it's a goal kick.
Well, it's good defending by Gary Hay, because Just make sure he stays on his feet there. And all the time he's waiting and Dindeleux getting across to give him a little bit of protection. He knows he's one-on-one here. And he just slows him up. Eventually Dindeleux comes over as well. And they really just squeeze him out.
Knocked away by Johan Mjällby. Clearance completed by Tebeli. Here's Sutton. McLaren. Cocard. Here's Gary Hay. Hay delivers a swirling centre, which Alan Thompson doesn't quite deal with. Canero. Mahood. Poor delivery though. Goal kick. Well, Steve Guppy probably would have got on today with Bobby Petr going off injured, but having to sit this one out because Martin O'Neill, in accordance with SPL rules, has to have 2 players under 21 in his 16 on duty. So he couldn't quite squeeze Guppy or Momo Silla onto the bench. Maloney and Craney there instead. But with Bobby Petr struggling with that hamstring, Guppy could yet figure against Ajax in midweek. Free kick given against again.
I think Didier Gat's saying that the system never gave this. A bit of leaning, bit of pushing. Good call by Stuart Dougal.
Ten minutes of the second half played, no goals. Dogged and determined display from Kilmarnock. Celtic having to put themselves about as well. Thompson, Hartson, Larsson. Tried to poke it through to Sutton, who was waiting. Celtic to try again with Agat. Gets it back from Sutton. Neil Lennon. Might well end up with Thompson away on the touchline. It does. Mjällby. Chris Sutton. He's going to have a pop. But Gordon Marshall watches it go wide.
Yeah, he's dropped a bit deeper, Chris Sutton. Playing really off the front two now of Larsson and John Hartson. You can see the Celtic having the lion's share of the ball, but still finding chances very hard to make here.
Kilmarnock get the free kick eventually. Maharan the offender.
Yeah, that's good footwork there by Peter Canero.
So Valharan becomes the 4th player to be booked, along with Sutton, Hessey and Mitchell. McLaren, first half replacement for the injured Sanjuan. Ngonge. Harmless though from a Celtic point of view. Douglas making his 30th appearance for the club. And then tripped by Ngonge. Tebeli did well to keep that in. Agat gives it back to the former Sheffield United man. Steve Bruce brought him to Bramall Lane, in fact. Tebeli. Mjällby. It's over the head of his fellow Swede, Larsson. Here's Christoph Cocard. McLaren, Gary Hay certainly made the most of that. Wasn't favourite to get to it. Christoph Cocard. Didier Gap put him off the idea of shooting. Mahood to Hay. Mitchell. Canero. And this is very promising for Kilmarnock. Ngonge flying through the air, but so was Douglas.
Well, they worked it very patiently until they managed to get Cocard free on the right-hand side. To be fair, it wasn't a bad ball in at all.
Handball shout from the Kilmarnock fans more than the players against Larsson. Here's Lambert. Thompson available. That's where it's going. Henrik Larsson. Kilmarnock strong and resilient, not giving the men who matter to Celtic much time on the ball at all. Probably Williamson has done a very decent job here through the years. You can't really ask for much more than European football 4 times in 5 seasons for a club like Kilmarnock. Certainly a club who progress steadily. They're building a hotel and conference centre adjacent to Rugby Park.
I think this is where they've got to throw the big guys forward, Ian. I mean, very few chances in open play here. It's a chance to throw a diagonal in and hope they get a knockdown here.
Maybe the left foot of Hay to whip this one in. And Innes is up there. It's not going to reach him though. Cut out by Lambert. And the Killie fans encouraged by this little spell from their team. It's going to be a long one towards Ngonge. The missed kick actually might yet favour Kilmarnock. They're going to get a corner. Cocard putting himself about. Actually played for France, although not in recent years. Bit of competition in that squad. McLaren's corner. Hessey is going to give it back to McLaren, which is a pretty good idea. He tries again, might just go behind that. It does. Hessey coming in. And almost getting a kiss off a Celtic fan. Lucky boy. Liverpool youth team product, in fact, Sean Hessey, but he was also on the books of Leeds United. Didier Gap. Here's Lambert. No way through for Celtic yet. Kilmarnock certainly takes some breaking down.
Get to the ball! Get to the ball!
Fowler up to Larsson. Kilmarnock in Europe once again. They will meet Glenavon of Northern Ireland on Thursday in the UEFA Cup qualifier. I know for a fact the boys of Glenavon are watching at this moment, having played their final pre-season friendly earlier in the day, so they could get in front of the box in time. Ngonge has joined Kilmarnock on a 1-year deal. He's 34 years of age, but pretty mobile.
He's still pretty sprightly for that age, Ian. And I think we saw in the first half when he took a couple of yards out of Johan Mjällby that he's still got a fair bit of pace about him. He's done a decent job today, but I think it's at the back that Kilmarnock have really got it spot on today. Really denied Celtic any width down either side. and the back three have been tremendous. Now that Chris Sutton's dropped off, Mahood's picking him up.
Here is Sutton. Oh, he's lifted it over for Henrik Larsson. It's going to be a corner. Larsson applauding the delivery into his path from Sutton. Celtic will hope for another decent delivery here, probably from Thompson or maybe from a Gat. It is Alan Thompson who delivers. Tebbley was looking to get on the end of it, but Kilmarnock break away with Ngonge. Cocard racing through the middle. The 30-something strike force, but Ngonge stuck his foot in the ground.
Well, either that or was a sniper up in the back of the standing.
Here's Larsson. Didier Gat. Lennon. Now Kilmarnock will hope for better luck on this attack after Ngonge sent the turf flying. Mahood. Canero. Ngonge watching his footing this time. Taking on Valharan, and that's a cross that has caught out Douglas, but Celtic survived that scare.
Well, Ali Mitchell simply didn't fancy him to get the cross in. I don't think any of us did, but a wonderful delivery to the back post.
The Kilmarnock fans are trying to rouse their team. Celtic are going to bring on Jackie McNamara shortly. Here's Didier Gat. Well, Alan Thompson, who hasn't really been 100% so far this season, he's been carrying a knock, is going to be the man making way eventually. But Celtic will wait on that substitution. It's launch time for Olivier Tebbley, Sutton at the near post. Flicking it on. Gordon Marshall confident enough to let it bounce. And he's picked out Christophe Cocard. Tebbley tracking him. Here's Mitchell. Now Hay. Ngonge calling for it. Comfortably cut out though by Valharan, and here's Thompson. And now Celtic will make that change, and Alan Thompson will come off to be replaced by Jackie McNamara, who played a prominent part last season. Came on and scored in the cup final, of course.
Well, he got that goal because he was willing to go beyond the front players, if you remember correctly, and maybe that's what Celtic need, a bit of movement from midfield. Someone prepared to go beyond the ball at times, because at the moment Kilmarnock looking very compact.
Celtic trying to wear Kilmarnock down, but it's hard work, as it usually is at Rugby Park. It's pretty even as far as the action areas are concerned. Lennon's free kick. Tebbley. Johan Mjällby. Up it goes towards Hartson. McNamara gets his first touch. Lennon outside of him. Larsson is going to be the man to latch onto this, though. Ngonge keeps it in. And gets the throw. Canero, one of the rising stars of Scottish football. Williamson has a few good kids on his books, mind you. whom we will see a fair bit of, I'm sure, this season. Ngonge. Here's Tebele. Sutton. Lambert. Here's John Hartson. And it's blocked by Marshall. Really a debut goal for the big Welshman. Gary Hay has been nudged by Tebele, the free kick.
Well, Celtic did ever so well to play him in the first place. Patient build-up. Delightful first-time layoff by Lambert. Has to take it early. Can't really blame him. Hit the target, but too close to Gordon Marshall. Enough power in it, but just couldn't find the inside of the far post. Best chance Celtic have had, arguably.
Gordon Marshall keeping his former club at bay. Still we wait for a goal. The Celtics' first attempt on target. McLaren, more or less on his own here, and a rather speculative effort for a man who scored a few goals this time last year. Had a really good start to the season. Well, I was talking about decent youngsters on the books at Killie, and he's certainly one of them. 19-year-old Paul Di Giacomo will shortly be on. He is Scottish, but has an Italian granddad, hence the name. Dindeleux. Hay has lost out to Didier Agat. Trouble here for Kilmarnock. Agat on the rampage, going it alone. And Marshall there once again.
That was a good take by Gordon Marshall. It's one he couldn't afford to spill there because Larsson and Hartson would both have got a tap in here. Good direct play by Agat. Gordon Marshall has to hold that in.
Cocard is going to come off for Kilmarnock. Hasn't really got the legs to last 90 minutes at the moment, but on comes young Paul Di Giacomo, who certainly made an impression here last season. Had a pretty decent game, if I remember, against Celtic on the final day.
Yeah, he made the goal for Mahood that night. It's got Kilmarnock into Europe. More mobile than Cocard. And he'll move defenders.
Well, we said Celtic never get an easy ride when they come to Rugby Park, and it's proving to be the same again in that respect. Inside the last 20 minutes now. Di Giacomo getting involved straight away, and that's, for a moment, it looked interesting. Innes beating Hartson to it. Here's Valharan. Just hooking it out. Spent most of his career in his homeland with Lille. Been a real hit at Kilmarnock. Quality defender. Good discovery by Bobby Williamson. Sutton. Marshall claims it under pressure from Hartson. Well, we've got two massive matches for you next weekend, live only on Sky Sports. Can Dunfermline keep their 100% record going against Rangers? It's at our new time of 5:30 next Saturday on Sky Sports 1. And on Sunday, it's the Charity Shield, live from the Millennium Stadium in Cardiff. Liverpool against Manchester United, that's at 1 o'clock on Sky Sports 2, and interactive on Sky Sports Extra. Valharan slid in. And now Celtic look to make progress once again into Kilmarnock territory. McNamara to Larson, on to Hartson, on to Sutton. Passing it to himself. Lambert. Wonderful.
Good work.
Here's McNamara. Now Sutton. He gets it back. Tebbely. And Tebbely offside. Bit of a late flag against Hartson.
I think we'll see Freddie Dandelou's hand goes up here immediately. Very tight. Run across the face here by Hartson, and as it's played, he's trying to get back on, but offside when the ball was played. Kilmarnock held a good line again.
Hartson was actually made club captain at Coventry when he decided to stay there a few weeks ago, but found the pull of Celtic too much, as a lot of people do. And destined to make a big impact in the Scottish Premier League. Should have had a goal, perhaps, in this game, but could have had a yellow or a red card as well, come to that. Just a typical game for Big John, who helps it on. Just over a quarter of an hour remaining. Hartson playing a lot more of the game than he would have expected after Bobby Petto went off with a hamstring injury. McLaren, oh, he's presented it straight to Paul Lambert, who's in the hunt for a goal again. Made by Innes, though, good challenge. Chris Innes. Larson's centre, but safely collected by Gordon Marshall. Lambert helps it on. Agat, Sutton. And Larson is onside. Henrik Larsson is through! And he's up and running for the season. Celtic finally break Kilmarnock down. And I suppose it had to be him. Surely the first of many.
Yeah, it's Freddie Dandeleux who plays him onside here, I think you'll see. Good ball over the top, but it's Dandeleux in the left-back position who doesn't get up. And from there on in, it's up to Gordon Marshall. Terrific finish by Larson. Gordon Marshall left exposed. But really, it's down to Freddie Dandeleux. You see him looking over his shoulder at the assistant, but it was him who played Larson onside. And, well, if Martin O'Neill wanted anyone through the goalkeeper, it's this man. What a good finish.
Well, he had gone a couple of games without scoring this week, which is a big drought for Henrik Larsson. Larsson had scored 7 goals in his last 2 games against Kilmarnock, so they won't really be surprised that it was he who sprung the offside trap. Henrik Larsson with the first goal of the season, but I suspect there might be 1 or 2 more.
That's the only mistake Freddie Dandelou's made as well. It's been magnificent this afternoon. And just didn't get himself out quickly enough.
Dandeleux this time doing battle with Hartson. Now Didier Agat. Lennon. Sutton. Larson. Lambert goes for the return. Now Jackie McNamara. Here's Hartson. And it was Lambert who scuffed that one a little bit. And he has scored enough goals this week. Kilmarnock are going to bring on Antonio Calderon. And it's Michel Ngonge who is going off. We shall not be moved. The pride from the Celtic fans. It took them a while to get their goal. Have Kilmarnock got a response in mind? Scoring goals, a bit of a problem for Killie last season. They were the lowest scorers amongst the leading clubs, the top 6 in Scotland. Larson only really needs one little sniff of goal though. Lennon's cross. Sutton flicked it on, but Hay clears. There may only be one goal behind Kilmarnock, but it's a long way back from here when you're up against Celtic. Neil Lennon. Be a big result if Celtic manage to get a win here, because they always do get a rough ride at Rugby Park. Oh, Didier Agathe is going to get a yellow card here for a late challenge on Alan Mahood.
Yeah, maybe one too many for Stuart Dougal, who's largely tried to let the game flow. Didier Agathe can have too many complaints.
The 5th yellow card of the game. 10 minutes to go. 1-0 to the champions. Dindeloux's free kick. And Baron proving to be a real nuisance here. Goes to ground, but Stuart Dougal not interested and not much of a shout for it either. Agathe has released John Hartson. Hartson manages to deliver. McNamara is going to be on the end of that. He cues it up for Henrik Larsson, who just tried to do a little bit too much perhaps, but what wonderful feet. Wrestling run from Giacomo. Larsson. Sutton. One team with a 100% record so far in Scotland, Dunfermline, but Celtic could be joining them on 6 points. O'Haran, away by Hessey. Hessey there again. Lennon mopping up, as they say. Lambert. McNamara waiting to receive. The ricochet off Calderon favoured Lambert. Well, when you come to Rugby Park, it's never really a time for flair. You have to earn the right to play against Kilmarnock. But these kind of performances by Celtic are the sort of performances that champions are made of. Champions all around the world get their fair share of 1-0 away wins. Here's Paul Lambert. Trying to slip it through to Larsson, but Dindeleux read that one. McLaren. Chris Sutton is back there. Kilmarnock can't really get the ball. Tivoli. Now, McLaren is the beneficiary of Mahood's tackle. Here's Giacomo. And he can be lively. Just spotted that one too far though. Goal kick.
I think if we look at the goal here, and you'll see Freddie Dindeleux in this position here, and if he's wide, I don't think he can afford to be any deeper than the deepest central defender, because once the ball is played, both Innes and Hessey are skinned. They can't possibly recover from that situation. And well, it was the last man they wanted in and goal, wasn't it?
Yep, you don't really want to see him bearing down on your goal with nobody too close to him. Foul on Larson by Innes. It'll be a free kick as Celtic prepare to bring on one of their youngsters, Stephen Craney. He made a few fleeting appearances last season, including one against Killie in the League Cup final. Lennon's free kick, away by Mahood. Here's Tebele, who I think is going to be the man to make way. Calderon. McLaren. Well, he did keep it in. Calderon. Mahood. Kilmarnock got a late goal against Celtic here in May, which clinched their UEFA Cup spot. They need to come up with the goods again. Giacomo. Canero might latch onto this. McLaren forced into conceding the corner. McLaren ready to deliver, and Dindeleux was in amongst the throng. It's come to Hessey, who didn't really mean to do that. I think the sun might have been in his eyes, mind you. And Celtic can now make that change with Olivier Tebele coming off and Stephen Craney coming on. Promising youngsters at Celtic.
Yeah, I think he's got a real chance of sliding, Stephen Craney. Very easy on the eye, comfortable in the ball, good composure.
Oh, Hay went in fiercely on Sutton. He's not one to pull out of anything like that either. Dindeleux. Away by Mialbi. Well, I say away, might be doing him a favour, but it drops harmlessly for Douglas. Hartson helps that on, Larson chasing. But getting there first will be Hessey. Celtic close to victory. Your man of the match, David.
Well, this fella, I know he made a mistake not getting up quickly enough for the Celtic goal, but that apart, I think Freddie Dindeleux has been terrific today against the best striking partnership in the country. They then threw on John Hartson. They've been caught once, but over the 90 minutes, I think it's a first-class game. He's my Bank of Scotland man of the match.
Such is the quality of that Celtic attack, though, that one little mistake can prove so costly. Been thrown straight out, which is a feat in itself. Well, anything that Bobby Williamson and the other managers get against the old firm is a bonus, really. Craney, Lambert. Celtic sitting on their 1-0 lead and not terribly troubled at the moment. Mialbi, Hartson. Dindeleux. Sutton's header. Here's the goal scorer. Henrik Larsson. Dindeleux, though, giving him not much of a chance there.
Tell you what, Ian, if Celtic hold on, this is a terrific 3 points, because they could very easily have lost this game. Could have gone either way. And a lot of sides will drop points here at Rugby Park as this season wears on.
Dindeleux up to Giacomo. Hessey away to Innes. Mialbi keeping a check on this and remaining calm. Hessey, Mahood. Hartson going in with Innes. Free kick given.
Yeah, it's John Hart's just leading with a sole of his boot again there.
Inside the final minute, and Chris Innes certainly felt that one, as he did in the first half when Hartson lunged into him. Down by the corner flag and was very lucky to escape any sort of punishment. Very, very lucky. Time nearly up for Bobby Williamson. I think he wants to put the board up himself as the added on time, but it's only 2 minutes. Mialbi let that go and obviously knew what he was doing. 2 minutes of added on time then. Celtic nearly there. Martin O'Neill's men have had to grind out a result here, as is often the case at Rugby Park. It hasn't been spectacular, but it has been pretty solid from Celtic. Larsson in the hunt again, but Dindeleux this time turns it back to Marshall. Gary Hay fooled himself. Celtic encouraged to get a move on. Calderon stepped in for Killie. Now Mahood. Canero racing down the right-hand side. It's going to Innes first of all, though.
Celtic got Chris Sutton playing at the back now. He started up front, dropped off in the second half, now he's playing at the back.
It could be in goal if we had a bit more time left soon. Mulharen. Oops, Celtic left it. And Kilmarnock have hope with Gary Hay. McLaren looking to return it, but too many Celtic bodies around for Kilmarnock's liking. And it must be a matter of seconds remaining. Been a gritty performance from Martin O'Neill's Celtic. Looks like 6 points out of 6 for Celtic, though, at the start of this season, and that's something that their big rivals Rangers cannot boast after being held by Livingston earlier, but it is something that Dunfermline can boast. They also have 6 points. Henrik Larsson proved to be the difference between the two teams in the end. It was hard work for Celtic, but this is the sort of result that champions are made of. It finishes at Rugby Park. Kilmarnock 0, Celtic 1.
Well, at Rugby Park this Saturday night, Kilmarnock gave it a go, but Celtic came away with 3 points, and 3 valuable ones too. 1-0 Celtic. 5 bookings tonight. Hessey and Mitchell of Kilmarnock, Sutton, Mulharen and Agat of Celtic all booked. Well, Celtic had the bulk of the possession in the first half, but Killie did still carry a goal threat themselves. Into the second half, the important feature of that was that Celtic got the winning goal. Larsson got it, 1-0 Celtic, 3 points to them. There we are, 1-0 Celtic tonight here at Rugby Park. Charlie Nicholas over the piece. They were worth the win, I feel, yeah?
There wasn't much in it, to be honest. They deserved it in domination of possession, Jim, but other than that, not in chances, because Kilmarnock defensively, Davey mentioned it, he picked Dindeleux. I mean, I thought both the wing-backs for Kilmarnock today, young lads, Canero and Hessey, were exceptional. You know, they did suffocate Celtic down the flanks today, which has been a problem for any team. I mean, Ngonge, early doors, this was the areas where I did think they had a chance, Kilmarnock. This game could have went either way until the last 10 minutes today, no doubt about that. Kilmarnock, they don't make any kind of open chances. It's not always great passing movements. They take their time, they're patient. Sometimes their fans don't always appreciate what they get. They have to be patient against Celtic. They have to be able to knock it long to get their defence 10, 15 yards further up. This could have been a penalty. I wouldn't have personally given it. I thought it would have been a very soft one. They have been given. Petter hobbled off. And then we've seen the introduction of John Hartson. I think what we did see today was no doubt about it. He's a target man, he's a struck. Big guy who's going to rough a few defenders up. But I didn't think the three that came on, you know, when Hartson came on, they basically stuck with the rigid three. Hartson down the left, Larsson and Sutton just intermingling through the middle and to the right. This was a rash challenge. I did say it was in his Hessey first half. It was in his.
It was in his, yeah.
It was a wild
But
challenge.
he was lucky there, wasn't he, Hartson?
Well, as I said, Jim, it's definitely a yellow card. I would say give him a yellow card.
He almost got the photographer as well.
Well, I tell you what, the young defender Innes does well from, because he could have made a meal of it.
Yes.
You know, this was I think the last 5 minutes of the first half, Celtic started pressing, but there was no real craft. And I think that was due to the fact that the wing backs of Kilmarnock, Hessey and Canero, were suffocating. They were really getting on top of, you know, in particular Petter went off injured, we know that. But in terms of Agat, he really didn't get much going. But they hung in, a little half chance for Hartson. He's just trying to hook it back in. I think it's a difficult one. It's not as if it's a missed opportunity. But he looked lively enough. I think he looked as if he's ready for the challenge ahead. You know, he's been at quite a few clubs. He's been at Arsenal, as the biggest club that he's been to. Now he's at Celtic. It's that type of stature. It didn't work for him at at Arsenal. So he's got to prove he can play at the big time at Celtic. That's no disrespect to the Wimbledons and Coventrys, but that is pure fact of football,
yes.
of reaching the standards where you want to be. And this was the one opportunity they did have come out. You know, Ali Mitchell, he gets in, they went to sleep. Here's the difference in the game, Jim. Celtic go to sleep, they let Mitchell in. There's a save from Douglas. And then patiently Celtic wait. They get the possession. Sutton's playing midfield. Half chance for Tabile. He really should be trying to hit the target. They're patient. They pass away. Chance come for Hartson. It could have been the goal that finished it. It wasn't to be. He probably hit it too straight. So it's an easy save for big Gordon Marshall in the end. But he was getting into opportunities. You know, look at that. It's a link-up play from Sutton again. He ends up creating the chance for Larsson to get a winner. You know, it's that little angle. You know, defenders time and time again to be asked every time to be picking up, to be ready. Here's Sutton again. You know, it's Dindeleux again who's just playing him on side. You go to sleep, it's a difference in the game. If Mitchell scores, Kilmarnock could have won it and get 3 points.
You cannot let him in.
Well, it's anything but. I think it was probably as poor as I've seen Henrik play today. You know, I have to give the defenders credit. You're looking at it, but give him one chance, give him one opportunity. This guy is absolutely lethal. He is the difference that makes Celtic, when they're not playing that well, win games and force the issue that Rangers have dropped 2 points today. But Celtic, what a great win for Martin O'Neill and his team.
It is a 1-0 win for Celtic then at Rugby Park tonight. Let's recap on all the SPL results this second weekend. Dundee 2, Hibernian 1, Hearts 1, Aberdeen 0, Kilmarnock 0, Celtic 1 as we saw, Motherwell 0, Dundee United 0, Rangers 0, Livingston 0, a surprise somewhat there, St Johnstone 0, Dunfermline 2. So there's confirmation that Dunfermline lead on goal difference from Celtic and by 2 points from Rangers, Dundee and Livingston. Tonight's defeat leaves Kilmarnock with 1 point from 2 games, and Aberdeen and St Johnstone are anchored with no points. That's it for tonight. We're back on Tuesday from 6:30 on Sky Sports 1 with Inside Scottish Football. And our next live match from the Bank of Scotland Scottish Premier League takes us to East End Park for Dunfermline against Rangers. 1-0 here at Rugby Park. Hope you enjoyed it. From Charlie and me, bye for now.